Okay, let's have a look at the answers to these puzzles. First, let's tackle the easy one. White to play and give checkmate on the very next move. Let's look at the black king. Okay then, are any of these squares safe for the black king? White has a rook on an open file, usually a good idea, and the dark squared bishop has found a nice diagonal. This is good work by white. The black king is stuck, so how do we finish the game? How many ways can white give check? Did you spot the 3 ways white can give check? White can use the pawn, rook, or bishop. But which one is the right answer? The black rook is defending along the 8th rank, so the pawn check and rook check aren't checkmate. What about the bishop check? Nothing can take the bishop, nothing can block check, and we already worked out that the black king can't move. It's checkmate. Medium puzzle now then, and it's white to play and mate in 2 moves. And the black king looks safe behind the pawns. But take a look at these 3 squares on the G file. The white bishop attacks the empty squares, so there is a little barrier here that the black king can't get past. And you should always think about checks. They might be pointless, but you should always think about them. There's only one possibility. And here it is. The black king could take the queen, but then the king would be trapped on the side of the board. Black could also move the king to G8. So can you think 1.5 moves ahead without the help of the arrows and highlighted squares? Let's see what happens if black takes the queen. With the king trapped on the edge of the board, the rook can give checkmate. Okay, let's go back and see what happens if black moves the king to G8 instead. The bishop can defend the queen on G7 or H8. Finally, the hard puzzle, white to play and mate in 3, and white's pieces are all ready to attack. Black's big pieces are on the wrong side of the board, but if white doesn't give check, black can bring them over, or use the knight to interfere. So let's look at checks for white. There are 2 to think about. The knight check looks safest, but it doesn't really achieve anything. This queen check looks like a bad idea, because the black pawn can take it. But that would open the F file for the white rook. Think ahead. Is that a good enough reason to give up the queen? Black would have to move the king onto the H file. White's rook could take black's H7 pawn, defended by the C2 bishop. Would it be checkmate? And aren't all those arrows a mess? That's better. See if you can remember those moves and play them through in your head, because that's what you need to do to know whether to give up your queen. Here are black's choices. If black moves the king to H8, and if black takes the white knight on H6, but let's go back. Because black didn't have to take the queen. The black king has 2 escape squares to choose from. But if the black king runs to f8, the white queen can give checkmate. And if the black king runs to h8, the white knight can give checkmate.